Some skeptics. He says Roe was egregiously wrong from the start. Its reasoning was exceptionally weak, and the decision has had damaging consequences. And far from bringing about a national settlement of the abortion issue, Roe and Casey have inflamed debate and deepened division. It is time to heed the Constitution and return the issue of abortion to the people's elected representatives. That means going back to the state. Clearly, the dissenters did not agree with that. And there have been people right, left, and center who have said Roe is in trouble. It doesn't have the best legal underpinnings and foundation. Let's hear from what the dissenters said. And they all signed on together. Justice Breyer, who retires in a matter of days, Justice Sotomayor, and Justice Kagan. They say this. Today, the court says that from the very moment of fertilization, a woman has no rights to speak of, as they can force her to bring a pregnancy to term, even at the steepest personal and familial costs. An abortion restriction, the majority holds, is permissible whenever rational, the lowest level of scrutiny known to the law. And because, as the court has often stated, protecting fetal life is rational, states will feel free to enact all manner of restrictions. Many of them have already done so. And as I said, that goes in both directions. Some of them opening up access to abortion through a due date, others saying not at all. And now here in Washington, a heavy presence here with security today. And it feels like it's ramping up a bit, too, because as you know, and I know you guys will talk about, there have been calls openly for, quote, open season on crisis pregnancy centers and other places of faith, and those who are part of the pro-life community. We'll see, and we'll watch and wait for tonight. Back to you guys.
We will, in fact. Shannon Bream live for us at the Supreme Court. Shannon, back to you as the news breaks.
All right, Shannon, thank you. We are joined now by Mike Davis, former law clerk to Justice Neil Gorsuch. Mike, thanks so much for your time. First, can you just give us your reaction in this moment, a big moment for the country?
This is a monumental decision, and President Trump should take a lot of credit for what happened today, because he transformed the Supreme Court with Justice Gorsuch, Justice Kavanaugh, and Justice Barrett. He transformed the court back to a constitutionalist court that actually looks at the text of the Constitution and what that text means, versus liberal judicial activism who just make up policy ends that they want and implement it by judicial fiat. So this is a historic, monumental day.
You know, what surprises me, Mike, is that you talk to a lot of people, and a lot of people believe that abortion in the United States is now illegal. That is not the case. The message has not really seeped in that this now goes back to the states, and that's how the founders intended this.
Yeah, exactly. The U.S. Constitution gives the federal government specific, limited, and separated powers. And if the Constitution doesn't give the federal government those powers, they belong to the states and the people. Abortion regulations are going to go back to the states, which is where they were for the first 200 years before the Supreme Court made up federal law in Roe versus Wade and made it where 5 federal judges in Washington, D.C. had decided abortion regulations instead of your local state representatives back home.
Just want to get this in here. Obviously, there's a lot of congressional reaction. Susan Collins, the United States Senator, has put out a statement on the Dobbs ruling, and considering your closeness with the Supreme Court, Mike Davis, want to get your reaction to this and ask you whether or not